Arul Selvakumar is a rich businessman based out of Palladam, Tirupur district. His mother, Bhuvneshwari, is the person behind the growth of their textile business following her husband's early death. Avinashi is her brother-in-law who is money-minded and has plans to grab Arul's properties. Arul returns from abroad after graduation and takes charge of all the businesses that were run by his mother. In the meantime, Bhuvneshwari meets with an accident in the factory and falls into a coma. All the efforts taken by Arul for her treatment are in vain. By chance, he meets a sage at the hospital where his mother is being treated who tells him there is a way to save his mother. The sage advises him to live a 48-day life of a beggar with two conditions, the first being that he shouldn't reveal his real identity and the second being that he shouldn't inform anyone else of this. If he completes it, his mother will have a chance to survive. With no other way to save his mother, Arul accepts both conditions and informs his friend Rajesh to look after the business until he returns. Arul travels to Chennai and joins other beggars at a temple, and starts begging. He comes across Majazini and falls in love with her, seeing her charitable personality. Arul recalls that he and his mother had initially decided to approach Majazini for her hand in marriage through a matrimonial site. Majazini also encounters Arul later and starts to like his character, not knowing that he is a beggar. Avinashi realizes the absence of Arul and tries to take over Arul's business. In a wedding ceremony, Majazini learns that Arul is a beggar and is angered, thinking Arul has misled her. She still doesn't avoid him as she is impressed more by his good nature. One day Majazini's mother sees Arul's photo in her laptop and recalls that he is a rich businessman, and also she had shared her photos with him through the matrimony website a few months ago. Majazini is shocked and tries to meet Arul, where she overhears the conversation between Arul and Rajesh, which makes her realize Arul's life as a beggar is to save his mother, and she is impressed by his good nature. Rajesh urges Arul to return, but Arul refuses to come with him. Majazini decides not to disturb Arul until his life as a beggar is still incomplete. Meanwhile, a group of doctors who manage a mental health center and use the patients for their medical experiments are found by Arul, with the help of a beggar who stays there by pretending to be a mentally challenged girl. Knowing this, the doctors hire goons to murder Arul. Arul manages to escape from the goons. On his last day as a beggar, Arul is spotted by Avinashi, and he tries to kill him but accidentally stabs Majazini, who is then admitted to the hospital. Arul, who is yet to complete his beggar life, is left hopeless as he is unable to pay the hospital expenses for Majazini, but his beggar friends give him some money to help Arul while Avinashi is arrested by police. Arul gets back to his home after 48 days along with Rajesh to visit his mother and learns that there is no improvement in her health. Arul holds his mother's hands and prays for her recovery. Suddenly he feels his mother's hands moving. After 6 months, his mother completely recovers, and both Arul and Majazini get married. In the climax, a beggar begs for money from Arul in front of a temple, but Arul, being busy with a phone call, fails to notice the beggar. Arul's mother gives alms to the beggar and tells Arul that the life of a beggar is so pathetic, and they should never hurt them as people like themselves cannot lead a beggar's life even a single day, implying that Arul's mother is unaware of what Arul did.